Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick art spread in my trash journal. I'm kind of calling it that, even though I think it turned out really good. This is from Meghann and the Moon's tutorial. Let me move my scissors. My desk is currently a mess, but that's okay because my art is a mess, and so it's a vibe, right? I have some elements that I already have, some collage fodder type stuff that I wanted to pull out and use. I'm really into bright rainbow pastel colors right now, all of that. So just some pieces I painted. This is from a collage book that I got on Amazon. Kind of makes it seem like someone's holding their hand out to you. And then I have this, which is actually a scrap paper from a piece I did in my art journal last night. And I wrote out a small little poem that says, "My bones sing of my pastel dreams." Kind of like a little bit of a chant verse type thing that calls in some of the power that I'm trying to reclaim, some of the comfortability of being in my own skin and being with the things that I really enjoy, which is bright colors, at least most days. And like I said, this is the book that I made from Meghann and the Moon's Art for a Spell prompt about making like a little junk journal. I'm gonna keep, the last spread we did in this was where I had stapled and it was kind of like a flip book, and I'm gonna kind of keep this stapling, I think, instead of gluing, because I want this to have, like, you know, that messy look, that that idea of things kind of like thrown together, but it still works. I don't like how big that is though. So I'm gonna tear this a little bit. That's better. And I can probably use this somewhere else. So this goes right here. So kind of my idea. Hi, do I know how to use a stapler? Is this hand like reaching out to this version of, I always like to tell a narrative, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't do that with their journaling, and that is definitely not a requirement. That's just kind of how I build my spreads, because I like it to, at least a spread or a page, to have like a theme or idea behind it. So kind of like a hand reaching out to this authentic version of myself, trying to like call me in. And for those of you who don't know, I've released another poetry zine. It's called Observations While Driving. It is from last summer when I was driving my kids all over the place. I spent most of the summer transporting my kids to various activities, and we live in the middle of nowhere, so I was in the car almost 3 hours a day by the end of it. And so I wrote a lot of poems in my head that I ended up recording in my notes app, and I turned them into a zine. I also have one that I'm working on right now that is called Unicorn Tears. If you see my Instagram post today, you will see an art piece that kind of helped me get the download for what it would be called. But I will say that, you know, unicorns are actually a very big theme for me. Let me see if I can get it. I have a unicorn tattoo here. It says, this is obviously upside down, but it says, "Stay the course." Reminding me not to compromise what I believe, not to compromise who I am, and when my intuition tells me that I am doing something that is right for me. I would be lying if I said that this reminder always worked. It definitely does not. I'm going to. And the beautiful thing about, I do this in all of my journaling, but the beautiful thing about a book like this, where you're literally just gluing or stapling or sewing things on, is that you can have pieces, like this is an envelope page, you can have pieces coming off the edges, however which way you want it. There are no rules. I cannot say that enough. This has like a little glitter page. This paper that I wrote the poem on is actually a scrap paper. When I was making a spread last night in my art journal, I used it to dab off excess paint, and like pieces of the page were coming off because you can see the glitter from the other spread on the page, and it's like the actual piece of the page that came off. I left it like that. I really like that grungy, like mixed up, not on purpose type of look in my journal. Not everybody enjoys that. That is why it's beautiful that your journal gets to be your own thing. Okay, so I found this also in my collage bin. Oh, there's like glue on it or something. That's okay. We will do something with this. But I like stapling papers like this at the top and having something underneath it. It makes it so that it's almost like adding an extra page into your journal, which makes it fun and adds a little bit something extra. So I'm trying to think what I want to do with this. I'm looking at my washi tape right now because I don't use washi that often. I think okay. So this is rainbow stripes with little gold dots. Yeah, I stapled because obviously the washi, especially in an art journal, isn't going to help anything necessarily stay in place. But I still like the look of it. So then this pink Posca marker is actually like my favorite paint marker right now. So then I'm gonna do my little signature here, star, moth. Okay, and I think, so one thing that I do that is like, I don't know, not super original or earth-shattering, but like when I feel like my page needs something more, is I just make lines or I outline something. It gives it something extra, and I like the way that it looks. It kind of makes the entire thing seem like an echo chamber a little bit. I don't know if this gold marker is going to work. I think that it might be dying. Ooh, there we go. Then also, you know, kind of like sound waves or waves of light. And I'm not a scientist. I don't know how that works, but maybe this is how it looks, right? You can see that it's starting to go out just a little bit. This gold was my favorite for a long time. And from my first set of paint markers that I actually bought. Okay, and I'm thinking that I want to draw something to like sit within the hand. It'll kind of give it like this dual meaning. I have this orange marker. It doesn't always work, so I'm going to test it out really quick. Oh, that's actually doing a lot better than I thought it was. Maybe I will. So right now, I have literally my entire, not just my desk, but this entire side little corner of my office is just covered in pieces of scrap paper, the backs of stickers, extra like packing material that I have pulled out to use in journal making and in collage spreads. I get over, when I make hearts, I'm going to say this right now, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, when I make hearts, I get very critical of myself. I have a hard time because I like things to be symmetrical. I think that's part of why when I art journal, I make things so messy, because then I can't hold myself to this like impossible standard. My hands are really shaky. You know, I'm pretty chaotic. I have ADHD and I have a hard time following through with cleaning. So everything in my life is always at least a little bit messy. And so I feel like that's part of why I do the messy journaling like I do. It just seems to fit in with like the therapeutic nature of it. At least for me. Now that being said, when I was in like high school, I was really, or I think it was maybe college. Anyways, I was working a job and things were getting really chaotic for me. And so I found a lot of comfort in like the order and organization of making like planner spreads. And this is before Instagram was the thing, like in 2008, 2009, 2008. And there was just a lot of comfort in being able to bring some semblance of order to my life when it felt like that there wasn't any. So I think it can go both ways. But right now, there's, you know, this is about making my inner child happy while also honoring a lot of like the colors and aesthetics that I don't get to bring into my life every day. I was told a long time ago that I look really good in jewel tones, and so I like almost subconsciously only bought those color clothes for a long time, and I'm trying to step out of that comfort zone as well. And it's not easy, especially when speaking from personal experience, especially when you're a mom and you feel like you're supposed to like look and act a certain way. It's a little difficult, right? At least for me. So journaling for me, especially art journaling, but kind of it's bled into like every aspect of my journaling practice. Bright colors, things that I'm not always brave enough to wear or have around me or demonstrate in my everyday life. You know, I don't have a lot of real in-life friends that I get to interact with, and we live in a very small town. So showing this side of me and getting it out on the page is really helpful. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So I'm going to leave this as it is. I really like it. It has a lot of layers. It's got my little poem scrap page here with outer space theme image in the background and my little signature. Then I really like this. It's like holding my heart in my hands. Also, you know, offering my true self to join in my heart space with lots of like fun layers stapled in, fun little paint marks, neon green tape that I'm still pretty obsessed with. And I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I rambled a lot because I definitely chugged my coffee this morning. Go ahead and hop into my Etsy store if you're interested in any of my zines. DM me if the price point is not accessible for you, or if you're interested in a trade. I'm always open for that. My Patreon is having lots of fun, so definitely check that out. And tune in to my Substack. I usually post weekly around Thursday or Friday. More extended thoughts on like themes that I'm exploring in a given week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button. Okay, bye.